Hi, I'm John Keach, and I'm going to demo a new custom visual for Power BI called the Percentile Chart, or commonly known as a cumulative distribution. This chart shows a distribution of values over a range of data. In this case, I have some traffic data from a website that I monitor, and I want to easily see the range of response time so I can see if what our kind of average user is seeing as far as responsiveness on the website. So if I load a new percentile chart here, and drop in our average server response time, I can quickly see the distribution of overall responses. So, for instance, 80% of the responses get back from the server in about 400 milliseconds. This chart is customizable, so I could change the decimal places here to 3, so that I can see 405 milliseconds or less is the average, or the 80th percentile of the response time, or the 95th percentile is 665 milliseconds or so. You can also change things like the color of the graph here, the color of the line, things like that. So that's how you can quickly, easily see distribution of data. In this case, have a very kind of long tail. You could also see this in a chart here. You could see all the values. You have a lot of kind of smaller values. At the very end, you have just a few values at the end of the tail here, but that's a lot easier to visualize as this cumulative distribution function or percentile chart. I have another data set here which shows the total number of users that visited the site on a given year. We can display the same data set in a percentile chart, which gives just a slightly different visualization for the same data. So we can see here in 2011 was the busiest year. We had 111,000 users. Likewise, that is the highest. The 100th percentile is the max value in the data set. 111,000 is the value here. Similarly, the 80th percentile is 57,000 users, which is the second highest numbered year here. So this is just a different way to show the distribution than a histogram would. But maybe we don't want to view the number of users per year. Maybe we want to view the breakdown of how many people visited per day in the last year, in the current year, in 2015. So what we could do is we could change it to show every day. First, we'd want to filter on the year, 2015, and then change it just to show every day. So this is a daily view of 2015. So we could do the same thing. Let me just copy this chart to get all the same settings, and we could view this as a percentile chart. So we can see this is kind of the same view, or this rather the same data, but a different visualization. So in this chart here, this bar chart, it's easy to see that kind of the average is, maybe around, 50 or 60, 70 users a day, something like that, with several spikes in the middle. But it's hard to get a good idea of what that number actually is. And here we can go over and see that the 50th percentile is 49 users or so, 49, 50 users, and the 90th percentile, which means 90% of the days had 81 users or less on it. And we can see the max value is 307 users, which corresponds to probably this day over here, about 307 users. So this just shows the kind of the curve or the distribution of the number of users on a given day. So just a different way to visualize the data. And you can easily see the exact number of a given percentile, which is commonly used for reporting SLAs or things like that. For those of you familiar with the kind of the built-in measurement functions or Excel functions, this is kind of the same as using the percentile inc function to compute all the percentiles from 0 to 100 and then graphing them in a line chart. So hope you find this useful. Thanks for watching.